Hey guys, and welcome back to another one, and here we are with the Rikomagic MK12. So as usual, let's test it out and I'll see you in a few minutes for the conclusion. So here we are with the Rikomagic MK12, which features the very well known Amlogic S802 and the octa-core GPU Mali 450, and it brings 2GB of DDR3 RAM and 16GB of NAND flash storage. And now, as usual, let's go for our very quick unboxing, and as you can see on screen, there we go, unboxing done as usual, as fast as I can. Now the first thing that we will find is the device itself, as you can see, the MK12, and it comes protected with a plastic cover, but we will gonna take a closer look at the device in just a few seconds. Now the packaging also includes a quick setup guide, a HDMI cable, power adapter, which in my particular case is for European Union, a USB with OTG connection, and finally a infrared remote control. Now regarding the infrared remote control, we are going to test later on the video, but for now what I can say, my first impression is that it feels really nice on hand, especially for my size of hands, which is a medium-sized hands, and the layout of the buttons and also the grip of the remote itself feels really nice, and the display of the buttons, on my personal opinion of course, has the necessary buttons, at least for the usage that I give to this kind of devices. Now one more final note regarding the remote: no batteries included. And now taking a closer look at the device itself, as you can see on screen, it's made all of a very glossy and nice looking black plastic, and on the front the only thing that we will see, it's a very dim blue light when we turn the device on, which you can place this device on a bedroom or in a dark room and you will not be bothered with this light. On the right side we will find no ports at all, while on the left side we will find two USB 2.0 ports and a microSD slot. Now at the back we will find the rest of the necessary ports to connect this device to our TV, being the power adapter, the optical output, gigabit Ethernet, HDMI, and a USB 2.0 port with OTG connection. And finally, a close-up on the top of the device, which will feature the Rikomagic logo. And on the bottom we will find four really nice rubberized feet, which will help to keep this device on any surface, and of course those vents that will improve the cooling of this device. The included remote control, it's a infrared remote control, as I mentioned before, and I really like the shape, the size, the layout of the buttons, and the overall grip really feels nice and sturdy on the hand. But regarding performance, it will perform as any other infrared remote control, which is, if you point it out directly to the device or in a small angle, you will be just fine. But if you put it on a off angle, and it will not grab the signal. Now my suggestion is always, not that you will not be able to play with this remote, it will be fine, but if you want a just better experience, get a wireless remote control. And besides being capable of pointing at any direction, you will also have that air mouse capability, which is just great. And while we were playing with remote controls, you had the chance to see the pre-installed launcher on this machine. And in my opinion, of course, this type of launcher is great, especially for those that are using one of these machines for the first time. You will have everything on the screen. Now, it also comes with a second launcher pre-installed. And in here on the menu, you will see that I have four, but those were just my testings. And this second launcher that comes pre-installed also, you will not have to download anything at all. Not that it's difficult to install a launcher, it's very easy, but it comes ready. Just change it if this is the way that you like, and personally this is the way that I use mine. Just a clean launcher, as the KK KitKat launcher that I'm using on all my machines, with weather, time, and just the apps that I use. So Android TV boxes are great because you can just make it or give them the look that you want, of course using any launcher that you prefer. And now let's go quickly through our standard benchmarks as usual, and starting with the Wi-Fi speed test. 10 meters away from the router, we got a 12 megabits per second download speed and 10 megabits of upload speed. And using the Ethernet with gigabit speed and using a power line adapter, as I always do, we got roughly 71 megabits per second of download and 20 megabits per second upload. Which, by the way, the power line adapters that I'm using at the moment are the Zixel Mimo Gigabit adapters. And if you want to watch a full review with some speed tests and a overall look, just check the video description or the YouTube card on the right top corner of this video. On Geekbench 3 we got a single core score of 488 and a multi-core score of 1012. On Antuntu we got an overall score of roughly 33,000, and on 3D Mark Tool Ice Storm benchmark we got an overall score of 6,000, and finally on Epic Citadel a 39.9 frames per second of overall score. And after those benchmarks, let's go for the real world performance of this device. And for this early 2015, as you know, the standard tests include Despicable Me, Cars Game, Beach Buggy, Asphalt 8 Airborne, and GT Racing 2. Now, all of these games run flawlessly without any problems whatsoever, and to be honest, no surprises because we are talking about the Amlogic S802, and for those that follow the channel, as I mentioned before, this is not a new CPU and a new GPU for us. This is the Amlogic S802, which is a great performer, and the octa-core Mali 450. So I wasn't expect anything less than what we had here. Everything just run out of the bat without any problems whatsoever. So a great gaming experience here. Now regarding the experience on video playback and media streaming, XBMC comes pre-installed on this machine, so if you don't want to download anything, it will be ready out of the box. All you have to do is tell the device where your files are. In my case, as you know, I'm using all my files on a NAS and streaming them directly on my network through those power line adapters. This is something that I always mention. Wi-Fi is just not enough to play everything at highest resolution. So my feedback here is that it works great, and as you can see on screen, even fast forwarding or rewinding on 1080p, the experience is everything flawless without any problems, no bufferings, no delays, everything is perfect. And the experience on 4K is also the same. It treats a 4K file, which we are using as usual, the sample from the Panasonic Lumix GH4, and it just runs flawless. Now it looks like a 1080p, but it's a 4K file, which even when you fast forward or rewind, the response time is very fast. So a great overall experience here if you want to watch your movie library on this device. Now, even if a machine comes preloaded with XBMC or Kodi, I always test on all the machines the latest version from Kodi, and on this particular machine here, unfortunately, I could not test it out because the app, as you can see on screen, just did not run. Now, I did try this on all the launchers that I had installed and even the one pre-installed on this machine, and just didn't work. Now this is not a major problem, this is a app or firmware thing that will be easily fixed by Rikomagic, and soon I hope. At least I will send a support ticket to the support team of Rikomagic, and I'm sure that they will fix this in no time. And now let's go for our very last test on this review, which is the mirroring capabilities of this device. And for that I always use the AirPin Pro, which is a paid premium app available on the Google Play Store, and once again, on my opinion, it's totally worth it. Roughly €3.50, and you will be able to install this on any of your devices. Now regarding the performance itself, everything just worked flawless, as you can see on screen, and with the iPhone 4S streaming to the TV, everything very fast and very responsive. You always get that little bit of delay when you are mirroring any device to any other Android TV box, and on this particular case the MK12, so no miracles there. But for the feature itself, you can place anything streaming on the TV while you keep on working on your phone. You can also use a tablet, and for example I'm using the iPad mini with Retina display, which, as you can also see on screen, the experience was exactly the same with the iPhone 4S. Everything just run flawless, no problems whatsoever, so you can place anything playing on your screen for your family or friends while you keep on browsing or working on your tablet. So this is a great feature, although we don't use much here at home, it is great to have. And finally, the mirroring of my wife's iMac to the living room TV, which is something that we use a lot. Now, streaming or mirroring the iPhone and iPad to the living room TV is something that we don't use a lot, as I said, not frequently, but the iMac or the iPhoto library to the living room TV is something that we use very often here when family and friends are here, and just even when we want to watch some of our photos on a living room TV, relaxing. We don't have to be the four of us, of course, on the office. We just go to the living room TV and enjoy it. And as I was talking, you could see the slideshow that was playing. Everything was just fine, no problems whatsoever. The performance was great, both on audio and on image. Of course, the audio, I do not play any audio just because of copyright issues on YouTube, but you will have to take my word for it. Everything played fine. I did test out 2 slideshows, which are my favorite ones, and the first one is a bit more simple, but the second one it's a bit more heavy, and on the past some machines did not perform that well. The MK12 just did everything great. Now on the first one and also on the second one, as you can see, no problems whatsoever, no artifacts, everything as you had your iMac on the living room. So my feedback regarding the mirroring capabilities of this device is that it's 5 stars, everything great and flawless. And that is it. So we have reached the end of another review. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did so, don't forget that thumbs up, as you always do, which I really appreciate. It motivates us to make more videos like this for you to watch. And if you still have any questions, just write down below in the comment section, as you always do, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now let me share with you quickly the things that I did like the most and the things that I did like the less, as I always do, starting with the things that I did like the most. The dim blue light at the front, which is something that I really value on any machine, and the Rikomagic MK12 has that feature. So you can place this on a bedroom or any dark environment and it will not bother your eyes. So this is a great feature. Also, it's rooted, so it comes rooted from factory. And for those of you that ask me, hey Robert, is this particular device rooted? Is this one particular device rooted? Sometimes I answer yes, sometimes I have to answer no, depending on the device. But this one here, the MK12, comes rooted, so you can do whatever you want with the device, although I don't use that feature most of the time. Those of you that really like to tweak the devices and play around with apps that otherwise you couldn't install, this one here has. And also the overall performance of the device, which comes with the Amlogic S802 and the octa-core Mali 450, just works great, as you saw on the video. A overall performance which is capable of doing anything. And lastly, the launcher. Now you saw the launcher that comes pre-installed. Brings 2 launchers. One of them is totally clean, which is the way that I use my machines, and the other one has everything on the screen, which I really find useful for those that are using these machines for the first time or are starting the first steps on using Android TV boxes, because it has all the shortcuts on, on the front screen, and you can add or remove apps that you use more or you use less. So these are the things that I consider more important on the side of the things that I did like the most. Now on the things that I did like the less, there are only 2. One of them was the Kodi. The latest version of Kodi was not able to run on this machine. I did install a few times, reinstall, reset the device, reinstall again, launched it on the different launchers, and nothing did sort it out. So what I think it is, it's a firmware or software or app, to be more precise, problem, not a hardware problem. So this will be fixed by Rikomagic team, and if any of you guys from Rikomagic is watching this video, please fix it as soon as you can, developing an app or making the app more friendly to the device itself, so we can use the latest version available from Kodi. But once that is fixed, this device is perfect. And the last one is the fingerprints on any device that I use, not only Android TV boxes, but any device that has a glossy finish. It's very easy to fingerprint your hands on this. So, but it's also very easy to clean it up with a cloth. So for example, I've got one here, I can just clean it up and it will be as new. Now, that being said, all you have to do to avoid this last thing that I did like the less is just place it on wherever you want to place it. Leave it alone, doing its job. Use your remote control, because you will have no buttons here, and that will be it. So guys, this is it for this particular video. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video once again. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.